What do you want?
Um, I don't want to really go to college.
Okay. I'm your dad, right? So should I give you some judgmental speech about you should go to college, man?
Yeah, yeah,
I went to college.
yeah. I know.
My dad went to college. Your mom went to college. All your uncles went to college. What's so special about you? You don't have to go to college.
Um, I'm not a loser like all you guys. Um,
Just kidding.
I don't know. It doesn't sound as fun to me to like waste a lot of time and money.
So is so is college even necessary anymore?
Let's talk about that.
All right.
I don't know. To me, it seems like most people I talk to, like 85% of people I talk to, the other 15% are old people that are, by the book, like, no, you need to go to college, you need to do these things. But most people I've been talking to are just like, yeah, I regret going to college because it was a huge waste of my time and money. My friend Jacob, he was going to ASU to get his business degree, and then he dropped out after a year. He had a full ride scholarship anyway, so it's not like he was paying anything, and he dropped out because he said it felt like the biggest waste of time and money, and he wasn't learning anything that like he wants to start his own business where he redoes the front of people's homes, and he's like, and getting a business degree wasn't going to help me with that at all. So, in my opinion, I guess it depends on what you want, and if you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something specific like that, then obviously you have to go to college to get go through medical school, pass the bar, things like that. But if you're going into anything other than those, I don't think you need it.
So, okay, so the people that need an education, your viewpoint is maybe engineers would be in that group, accountants. Formal education is needed for specific trades that require specific training, right?
Yeah.
So then who doesn't need to go to college in your view?
Um, Entrepreneurs and anyone outside of those, outside of people who want to go into something very specific.
Why is there no college? Is there no college specific for entrepreneurs? Why is there no?
Well, there's an entrepreneurship program at colleges,
Okay.
but what is that going to teach you? Here's how to be an entrepreneur. It's like you don't,
In the classroom.
yeah, no, I don't, that's
You don't learn
not
how to
it
build a
works.
business in a classroom.
Yeah. That's like, yeah.
So I went to college. I studied economics, business economics. Then I went back, as you know, and I got my MBA. And MBA cost me 60 grand. And it's funny, I joke that, there's 5 things I learned for $60,000, There were 5 impressionable things that I used that helped shape my thinking. But it took me like 2 years and $60,000. So I don't think anybody would argue that you don't learn anything in college, but it's like the exchange of money and time, is it worth it? That's what you're questioning, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. You'll definitely learn things you didn't know in college.
Okay,
But it's
so
like you can learn those things pretty much online with today's technology. You can learn just about anything you want to for free.
so we were talking about this a little bit before, we sat down to record on it, or the last few days or last few weeks, or actually we've talked about this probably for a couple of years. So one of my pushbacks on this idea that no, you don't have to go to college is you don't know what you don't know, right? So some smart people that came before us designed these academic programs with specific ingredients, specific components to it that they deem give a person a well-rounded education. And if you do, and maybe, not maybe, but probably, if you self-selected your own learning, you might not have taken the art history class, right? You might not have taken the humanity. You might, if your business, you might not have gotten the well-rounded stuff that a university requires. And my perspective, where I'm at today, I actually think that tangential stuff, that stuff that wasn't directly in line with what I was going to do for a living, shaped me, shaped my thinking, gave me some context, gave me some reference points to speak with other intelligent people. And so it's kind of a shared experience that now I can take with me. And it's useful, but it's really hard to quantify how useful it is. Does it make me more money? I don't know. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not.
I think people would like to say it's what's made you more money. Like if you hadn't gone to college, you would, because they don't want to feel bad about going to college. They're like, no, no, that was worth it. I spent so much time and dedication to that. Like, no, it has to be worth it.
There's got to be a name for that syndrome where you're like overly committed to a course of action. You got to justify what you did, and you spent all your time and money on something. So there's some bias there, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
don't you think those skills that you learned from going to college, like you said, having reference points to talking to successful people or whatever, don't you think you could have gotten that nowadays from reading certain books and exploring certain things on the internet?
so okay. I'm thinking about one college class I took at Mesa Community College, probably in the year 2001, and maybe no, probably 1999, and it was small group dynamics. And I remember distinctly feeling like, wow, this is really fascinating. So when a small group of people come together, there's 4 stages or 5 stages. And the first one is like forming, and then there's storming, and then there's norming, and then there's performing. And like, I don't think I ever would have taken that class if it hadn't been part of the required curriculum. And I think about that all the time now that I'm running my own business. And I've never seen it discussed in any of the business books that I've read. I haven't read every business book. I'm sure there's contents out there. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just as we go along our life journey, we just like, there's little pieces, whether it's from the university or coaches or mentor groups or books or seminars or whatever, some of those things stick. And I definitely have some of those things from my college experience that stick in my head and shape the way I think. And I'm glad I have them. And they're reference points and they make me better.
You don't think you would have gained those outside of college if you hadn't gone?
I'm not sure about that. No, I think I could have got them outside of college.
Okay.
100%.
Do you think you would have?
I think I would have.
So was it worth $60,000?
You know what I think is way more important than going to college? Like 10 to 1, 100 to 1.
Your relationships, your connections. Is that what you're gonna say?
Nope, that's not what I'm going to say. I was going to say your passion for learning and seeking knowledge. If somebody has a passion for learning and seeking knowledge, that's fulfilling to them, that's exciting to them, and they have the habit of reading 1 book a month, for instance, that's a self-improvement or educational or book about business, and they do that their entire life, they will be worlds beyond someone that went to college and then stopped and never picked up. And it's not just books. It's mentorship groups, or it's mentorship relationships with really smart people. It's accountability groups, right? It's coaching relationships. I look at it like this. You can go to college, spend a bunch of money and time, and you're going to get like this level of information. It's going to come at you kind of randomly, kind of slow. You got to go through this process that's annoying, right? There could be a political agenda at your university that doesn't connect with, and you're like, well, what is this? So that's like here, right? And then the next level up is like books or audiobooks that are and YouTube videos that are specifically about what you want to learn, that are like enticing to you. Next level up is accountability groups and like mastermind groups. Remember what Mr. B said? For a year, he met with 4 other guys. Almost every week or every day they were talking, and they were each learning how to create content on YouTube and pursue that path. And they learned 4 or 5 times faster because every time one of them made a mistake, they shared it with the other 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Right? That's the power of a mentorship group, and then or excuse me, an accountability group. And then a level up of that is a mentor. Somebody that's not your peer that you're learning at the same time, the same lessons with. Somebody that's already been there.
Right.
And they're like, here's specifically what I think you should do, right? And then at that same level or slightly above that level is coaching. If you pay for a really good business coach, he knows a lot of the university stuff, like that mentor does too, right? Maybe they've had those things, and so they can sit and listen about your specific situation, get to know you as an individual, understand your mindset, roadblocks, understand the dynamics of the environment that you're in, and then tailor fit these golden nuggets of information in to unlock and break through some of your roadblocks.
Yeah.
And so that's the hierarchy.
So I think that, yeah, that's why I think the most important thing is your connections with people and just constantly trying to grow your connections and find people who have what you don't have but you want, and then learn from them.
100%.
And I think maybe you should go to college if you're one of the people that's okay with, like, you can handle yourself sitting at home and doing nothing with their life. Like, then maybe I think, yeah.
You make it sound like everybody who goes to college is a loser. Is that what you just like?
No, I'm saying those people probably need to go to college because
Those people.
the people who
Be
are
careful,
okay
man.
with
I'm one of those people.
no, you were just no, I'm not saying those are the only people who go to college. I'm saying those are
Gotcha.
the people who probably need to go to college.
Okay,
I
this-
don't think you needed to go to college, but people who sit on their butt at home and are okay with that and like, yeah, I'm kind of just like coasting through life.
I'm just taking a break right now.
I'm just chill. Yeah, I don't really want to do anything. Like those people who are okay with their lives being like that, those people should go to college because clearly they need some discipline.
You know what that makes me think of is the young man or woman that senses that they lack discipline in life and they're getting frustrated with it, but they can't self-help themselves out of it, so they go sign up for the military. Or they go put themselves into some program that's going to force it on them. And they don't know it's going to be uncomfortable. And you have a close friend that, went
Yeah.
into the military. And so, yeah, probably some regret, 80 to 90% of the time after people actually get into boot camp,
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so your point is if you lack discipline and direction and you can't get yourself passionate about anything, then yeah, shoehorn yourself into some archaic, bureaucratic,
Yeah. I think,
educational process.
yeah. I think maybe that's part of the reason why I'm so strict about the gym and like never missing a day and like eating exactly what I'm supposed to eat and everything because it like makes me feel like, okay, I have the discipline to do this and this is pretty hard.
Can
So
we talk about that for a second? I know it's not exactly talking about the university, but there's something to that, like where you prove to yourself, like part of life is proving to yourself
yeah.
that you're not a loser,
Yeah.
right? Like I can resonate with that idea.
Yeah,
Like,
you run 60-mile races.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like, yeah. That's
There's-
pretty insane.
There's a certain level of self-respect that comes from proving to yourself through your actions that you have discipline,
Yeah.
that you're committed to a higher level of living.
Yeah.
And for you, that's working out. I super respect your discipline. Like I look at your working out and your diet and everything that you do with that discipline. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I could do that. But then you probably look at my running and you're like, yeah, no thanks.
But then honestly, it doesn't feel like, well, I've started running now, but I just don't think I'm really getting the whole discipline thing from it because it does not feel like, all right, I'm about to go force myself to do something I really don't want to do. It's like I just only think like I'm just thinking right now, as soon as we're done recording, I'm so excited to go to the gym and work out legs,
There you go.
Like it's not, I'm not getting much discipline from it. It's like yeah.
No,
Does it have to be, do you have to learn to do things you don't want to do? Because
I think that's garbage.
yeah, but we're taught that, I feel like a lot is like you need to learn how to do things you don't want to do, like ever since we're like kids. And like you even, as my parent when I'm like really young, like, no, you have to do this. You need to learn to do things you don't want to do. You're going to be doing things you don't want to do your whole life. And it's like maybe that's not how you should think about it. Maybe you should say, no, I'm only going to do things that I want to do. Find your superpower, the things you're really good at and love doing, and then, utilize that skill and then use it to your benefit.
That idea connects back with the university because like how does a university help someone like really unlock their genius, their unique ability, their superpower, and then amplify it you know,
Like for people who it helps people discover what their superpower is, probably, right?
well, in a very kind of vague, generalistic way, because you're getting exposed to a lot of different things. The reason I majored in economics is because I was required that I take an Econ 101 course, and I did that. I happened to do that my first semester in college, and I was like, oh my gosh, this stuff, like most people in here are aggravated by what we're talking about, and it's coming really easy to me, and I like this.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I was introduced to me that there's this concept of your unique ability. Like you should specialize. There's gains. Economics teaches you that there's gains from trade that comes when people employ their unique ability and specialize in producing more of asset A or item A because they're really uniquely good at that. And then they trade that with the person that produces item B who's really good at doing that. But they both want to consume both items. And so they trade with each other. And then magically, they're both made wealthier than they could have been on their own. Like it's a beautiful concept. So yeah, bottom line is I probably wouldn't have stumbled across that if I hadn't gone into university.
Yeah.
But it's such a vague experience. It's such a broad, vague experience, right? Maybe there's a faster way of finding your unique abilities and your superpowers.
Right. Which is by reading what book?
Strengths Finder.
By
Who is that by?
MacArthur or something?
I don't know.
Something.
Look up Strengths Finder, get the book, take the assessment, and it'll tell you your top 5 ranked in order. I'm an idea guy. Once I found out that I'm an idea guy and I embraced that, it was really impactful in my life.
What are the 5 again?
Oh, my 5? I don't know.
No. Like
there's
what
like 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like 30.
Okay, because Sophie, my girlfriend's sister, read the book because I gave one to Mac.
Yep.
And so her sister decided to read it first because she just has already read the entire library of books Mac has.
Oh, wow.
And she read it and she's like, oh my gosh, you are exactly this. Like, and then she described it to Mac.
Yeah.
And she's like, every single thing she said, like, made so much sense and fit perfectly to like my personality. And she's like sitting here, like assigning them to everyone, like, you are this, like, exactly. And she's like super excited about it. But yeah, if you get the book, there's a code on the last page where you can take a quiz, right? And it'll like tell you.
Clifton Strengths Finder test.
And then, or you can just pay and take the quiz, right?
Yeah, definitely do it. Definitely do it, because once you find out what your superpower is, some people in life say like, okay, well, whatever your weaknesses are, work on those weaknesses so they become strengths. So they,
But that's like playing that's like putting a raffle ticket in every single raffle, like one in every single one, instead of putting all of them in one to maximize your chances of winning something.
Give the context of what you're talking about.
So in elementary school, we would have these raffles, and there'd be like 50 different prizes.
Fundraiser thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what my mom would do would get a crap ton of tickets and then go around to every single one and just put one in every single one.
It was a drawing, right? At the end of the day. So
right. And then in her brain, she's like, all right, since I'm putting tickets in more prizes, my chances of winning multiple are higher. Like, like I'm probably going to win multiple now. But
or have better chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in reality, that is stupid, and you should put everything into one of them.
Yes. If you buy 100 raffle tickets and there's 30 different prize baskets to choose from,
but 100.
Your odds are way higher if you put all 100 tickets in one bucket.
Yeah.
Because then you're only competing with the other raffle tickets in that bucket, as opposed to all the raffle tickets in all 30 buckets all at once.
Yeah.
Right. It's just probability.
Right.
So similar, if you can identify what your strengths is and put your focus and energy behind that and use that to serve and benefit as many people as possible, the world is going to reward you with profits a lot faster. And guess what? You're going to have more fun doing it.
Mm-hmm. Like if you're naturally not good at like writing everything down and paying close like attention and detail to things, or I don't know, like a skill like that, like that's definitely a personality thing.
Easy to you, right?
Then you don't need to sit and waste your time trying to force yourself to become an expert at doing that. Find someone else that's an expert and have them do it for you.
You know what? A couple different ideas. My brain is racing right now because absolutely, I think the educational system is broken, because in real life you win by joining a team that utilizes your superpower to its best ability, and then you trade with all the other people on that team to use their superpowers. In business, I've told your mom, I'm like, hey, I'm never going to retire. I think it bothers her. Why would I ever retire? Because all I'm doing as I grow my business and I'm getting more successful is I'm hiring people to do all the stuff that I can't stand doing.
Yeah.
And that's the point of that book, Who Not How. Like, move everything off your, get extremely committed to moving everything off your plate that doesn't specifically utilize your superpower. And then the gains from trading with people that do the other stuff and love to do the stuff that you hate. Once I realized that there was people that love to do the stuff I couldn't stand doing, my whole world changed. But it wasn't until I was like in my 30s that I realized that. I was like, wait, there's people that love to absolutely sit down and like go through a spreadsheet over and over and over and over to find out why the budget didn't meet the financial projections, to, this, and they want to balance it to the penny. People love doing that.
Yeah.
Great. I'm done.
Yeah. You go for it.
Yeah, you go for it. So the education, so this ties back to the university idea. Like, are we really teaching people how to be successful in life by putting them through an institutional program, elementary school, junior high, high school, university, where if you don't have the executive functioning ability to keep yourself organized, then you're considered a failure, right? Guess what? There's some creative people that have wonderful ideas that can't keep a schedule.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. That's not successful. That's not successful in university. So some people would argue, well, the university helped develop that skill and brought discipline, but was it really helpful, or was it just stifling? Was it really frustrating? Was it really utilizing?
You don't need to be good at everything.
Nope.
So basically, universities are just for people who...
Careful. You don't want to shame everyone.
Well, no. You don't really need to go to a unit, like your parents, like everybody will be like, not everyone, but most people are like, you need to go to a university, like you have to do that. That's just how it goes. You just need to do it.
It's an easy, safe path.
Right. But it's
path.
not as necessary as most people make it seem,
Correct.
And also, the way schooling has changed throughout the past like few hundred years is like insane. So what makes you think it's not going to change from people going to universities right now? Like, it is going to, people are just going to be able to ask their AI friend whatever they want, and then that'll be their school,
Exactly. That'll be an exciting time. That'll be an exciting time. Now, if somebody could, we could dive deeper into this, but no, I totally agree with your point. Yeah, if somebody had I was just thinking, like, if you set it up, the way I accelerated my learning once I got into business was exactly how I just outlined it with these different layers, right? If you could do that at age 18 and immediately have a peer group, immediately have a mentor, immediately have a coach, and have a trajectory and start moving towards that, I mean, man, that would just really accelerate you.
Yeah.
And you don't get that in university.
Yeah, but, maybe we should just start all learning how to code really well and analyze data, because AI is going to take over all the jobs anyway.
Or let's use ChatGPT to outline the business model for an entrepreneurship college that they could incorporate group learning and like all this other stuff.
Act as a genius professor and teach me about this, and then it will.
Right.
Awesome. All right. Cool. Subscribe.
Turn on your notifications, smash the like button, leave us a comment.
Yeah, we have responded to every single comment we've ever been sent so far. So
That's true.